long, long ago, in a time, in a place, in a kingdom by the sea, called Randomness, there did live a man who was a poet who wrote poetry. But his poetry was surrealist, which is not very real. And he was paranoid and looking for a shop where the Mad Hatters would go. And so he found the haberdashery. But his car broke down, and so, like all decent cars that fly, this was not one of them. And he had a hand with an extra digit. He called it Phi. And all the dreams in the paintings on the walls seemed strange and odd. He opened up his eyes and thought that the world was bizarre. And so he cried and cried and cried. And then came the Queen. And she said, "Whatever? Are you upset?" And Madam Frog said quite seductively, "You want to go fishing for some marlins?" And that is how the fishing trip began. That never did. And all the wordplay and the miming kid seemed quite auspicious for the daily brief. For as the sky lit up with stars, so did the heavens. A celestial being was born. And we call this celestial being the dark and lonely storm. And the dark and lonely storm walked for hours. And he went and got Madam Frog that canoe. He bought the boat in a little old moat just south of New Hampshire. And so they went on the voyage down the river rafts and had a bunch of laughs and drank sangria. And dreams were but seeming to be reality, but immersive they were. And there they found the intriguing Pascalibur and this here untimely beast, for which they had been questing, but came with randomness. For all they did was sleep and eat and eat and sleep, and nothing but palindromes would satisfy the palate of the Queen. And so they put her on a horse so white that it had no feet. It walked a 7 million mile down the alleyway and up through the Nile, and came therein a small box of feathers. Pelvic dodium! Why, what is that? And said Freud to Mrs. Maddam Frog, "Hysteria! It's hysteria!" And so the world was turned upside down, and they found that the world came calmer with a little pelvic dodium. Yes. But do dream, beyond the mystery of the random seemings. But this story did not end with a sad note, nor a high, nor a low, But there they came with a canoe to a small house out in the village of Blue, and there they lay in the bay and stared at the long paintings with long faces hanging in long frames during the long-awaited day that is tomorrow, and tomorrow would be on the morrow much the same. And they caught many a small mushrooms, all named Sebastian, one named Fred, the other, Fred's friend, had a peg leg, and we called him Captain Tafters. What a glorious, glorious day it was. For a long, long time ago, in that kingdom by the sea, that's where the fall of the heavens fell deep, 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 deep. And everyone in Nevermore did fall asleep. And speaking was looking for his car keys, but he does not own a car. So why am I whispering? I haven't a clue, but narrators do strange things.